Hey, what's going on, Los Angeles? What's up, USC Trojan fans? Very special salute to Troy here. We got the great Brenden Rice joining us, giving us some of his time. What a great Trojan he is, and obviously going to be a great NFL player here, just a week away from the NFL draft. So excited to get into it. But Brenden, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So can't wait. I think we'll just for a little bit for our SC fans, maybe talk a little SC, and then obviously we want to hear about your draft process and the excitement there. So, but yeah, just kicking off, man. 2 years at SC, did some awesome things, played with a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches. How would you just kind of sum up your time in SoCal and your time as a USC Trojan?
I would have to say that my time as a USC Trojan would just been like, man, it's been ecstatic. It's been a crazy roller coaster that I've loved. It's been a lot of hard work, drive, dedication, and just attentiveness to the game of football as well as to the university and making sure you go to classes, the people you meet along the way. Man, the Trojan fan base is no, it's like nothing like the rest, man. And you really have to accept that and know that when you come to be a USC Trojan, you're going to be networking constantly because we have such a strong fan base and such a strong feel for each other.
That's awesome, B Rice. And thanks again for being here. And a couple questions, B Rice, for you. How would you say your game has evolved from kind of first day stepping on to the USC campus from Colorado till now? How would you say your game has grown? And then second, what was it like playing with Caleb Williams and the Heisman Trophy winner and all the hype that came up with it? It seems like there's so many narratives about him, but what was it like being one of his primary targets inside that locker room, and what was that relationship like?
Well, for the first one, I would have to say my game has evolved just from a football IQ perspective. I wanted to be a USC Trojan. Without a doubt, I wanted the competition. I wanted to go against the best guys in the nation and compete for a starting position. I wanted to be the next great receiver. And just coming to USC, I knew that I was going to have Lincoln Riley, Dennis Simmons, and Caleb Williams. I wanted to build on my football IQ knowledge as well as progress with my techniques, my understanding of the game, my route running. And I also wanted a business degree from the great University of Southern California. So just going ahead and really accepting that and knowing that, hey, like I get to go ahead and be in Southern California. That's such a big honor, man, to really be a Trojan. This university is something huge all across the nation, and everybody knows we're the real SC. So when you say SC, just know it is Southern California.
Yes.
But
Love
yeah,
that.
just a long line of receivers and everybody that's come out with legacies and stuff like that. I wanted to go ahead and impose myself upon and go ahead and take it to the next level. And I knew coming to USC would raise my game to new heights. As for Caleb Williams, man, he's a dog. He's everything you want in a quarterback. Of course, he has his own personality traits, but you got to remember each day in and day out, this dude is coming to work. And that's what you want from a quarterback. You don't want guys that are going to turn down extra work. He was there earlier than us at times, and he would stay later just to go ahead and get some extra work with me. If I said, hey, Caleb, I need to work on this a little bit more, I need more of an understanding on this, or we just chop it up about football and life. And that's where the chemistry aspect was built.
Love it. Yeah, I know USC fans love, hearing you say what it means to be a Trojan, and that's some of this culture is trying to rebuild is, having all these players in the program that love being here. And I know everyone will appreciate hearing you say that. Looking back a little bit, you come in, transfer in, and receiver room's pretty deep. Jordan Addison transfers in here, and I know the probably answer you'll give is you just worked your tail off, but we saw that Tulane game where you had your coming out game in the bowl game and just looked absolutely dominant, making unbelievable catches. Just looked like you had stick 'em on, just the way you're going up and getting the ball, especially that one goal line play you had. And then you come into this year and really kind of become, wide receiver one in many instances, and Caleb Williams go-to guy, especially on those scramble drills. So what can you attest to kind of just your growth of the program and kind of that slow build to the explosion in the bowl game and then carrying over into the season?
I had to stay grounded throughout the year. Like I said, I came to USC to compete against the nation's best. So when I came to USC, Coach Simmons was not easy on me, especially with Riley as well. They said, hey, If you can come in here and take a starting position, but it's all up to you. We're gonna look at your day to day, just practices, how you attend class, who are you in class, who are you in meetings, and like the type of person you are. Character is everything within that. And if your characteristics are poor, then shoot, you're gonna fall to the bottom. So each day in and day out, just progressing with them as well. I knew that, like, man, I'm competing against everybody around me. If I have to be on class at this time, I show up 5 minutes early. If I have to be in this meeting at this time, I'm going to be there early so the coaches go ahead and take note of it. And just knowing that, like, it's a slow progression, and you got to realize that if you go ahead and put in necessary work each day in and day out, there's going to be fruits of that labor come to fruition and all that type of stuff. And you just got to stay grounded. My first year, it was ups and downs, and I had to accept that. And I really had to focus right back into the football state of mind. And it wasn't until the end of year that I really had a grasp and the composure. And that's where you see me take off because you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was benched after the Notre Dame game, and I came off the bench in the Utah championship, and I ended up taking off in that game as well. And then the Tulane game, it was just a build up because now I'm around just straight family members and teammates in that bowl game, and I got to go ahead and sit there and be like, "Hey guys, like this has been one hell of a year of ups and downs. Let's go ahead and finish it off right." And that was big for me.
Oh, that's amazing, Brenden. And how would you say, in terms of, you talked about your growth as a player on the field, the Trojan family aspect of it, and being more comfortable, sounds like, in your own skin and as a Trojan moving forward as part of the growth and maturation process. How have you also seen kind of the world of NIL at USC grow since you first came there? You know, a lot more emphasis on it. The collectives are all kind of coming together a little bit more. There seems to be a lot more emphasis and resources. Maybe you could talk a little bit about your interactions with NIL over the course of your time at USC.
My growth through USC. I didn't go to USC for NIL. I had some $1 million offers in that portal, man. And I basically went to USC for not a penny. So
Mm.
like I just wanted to compete. I didn't ever look towards that, but it seems like they're doing really well, and I'm happy for them.
That's great. Yeah. And, it's obviously part of the game now, and right, wrong, and different, whatever you like. Not you, but just whatever each player has their own individual goals and whatnot. But obviously competition, I think, is key. And you, I think, understood obviously the gravity of what comes next, which is, I think, what we can maybe transition to now is, the NFL draft, and you're making the next chapter in your life and your career. And, play at the Senior Bowl. You balled out of the Senior Bowl and did some great things there. And so, we'll get into maybe a couple specifics before we let you go, but just in broad terms, what's the process been like? Obviously, it's a grind, just like the season, combine, Senior Bowl, meetings. I think you've met with, countless teams, including the Chargers out here in LA, the Niners and whatnot. So just what's the process been like basically since the season ended?
It's been up and down, and it's hectic at times. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of teams to meet with. There's a lot of Zoom sessions, but you got to be thankful. Like this is the opportunity of a lifetime. You know how many people would be so thankful and so just like they would be uplifted just to be in your shoes right now. So you got to take that in and be humble and take it a step at a time and really grasp into the moment because shoot, this is the moment of a lifetime.
That's amazing. B Rice, talk to me a little bit at Moment of Levity about your partnership with Breathe Right, and just the things that you got going on the field with it, off the field with it. Your dad, the GOAT, was part of it. So maybe walk us through kind of that partnership and the legacy there.
So I used to always see the Breathe Right Air Jerry ads, and I wanted to be a part of something like that. I wanted to go ahead and continue that legacy. And just looking up to that and being able to do it myself, I was like, man, without a doubt, I want in. Like, how do I do it? Like, how we can't get started faster enough. And man, it took his game to another level. He used to run the hills with the Breeds Right strips, be at practice, sleep with them. And I'm just trying to go ahead and mock my game after him. And whatever he does to get better, I want to go ahead and impose on my own game. read right strips have taken my game to another level just because I had nasal congestion on the field.
Mm.
I believe it was because of my allergies a little bit, but I would always get congestion, and I feel as though that my breathing would take apart from my game. Even going up to the Mile High Stadium in Boulder, Colorado, that altitude takes a big toll on you, man. And just to have that breathe right strip, I swear, like that game felt like it was so easy. It was a cake. It was cake to me. And man, like I was able to go ahead and just exemplify who I am and take my game to another level.
Well, you,
No, that's
you played great in
fantastic.
a lot of games, but obviously that game was a special one. Your return, we were both there, made the trip out for it, and saw you in the scrum afterwards. That was cool, and obviously it's allergy season now, so I think breathe right's the perfect time for everyone to get on board. Probably just one or two more from me, and then Jamal, you can maybe finish us up. But you mentioned your dad, and I'm just curious. Obviously it's so important, and you've just said it recently, and I've heard you say it many times, like carrying on that legacy. But aside from that, how important is it to you to like charting your own path? Like you are Brenden Rice, you are your own person, you're your own player, you have your own skill set. How important is you that you really chart your own course and make a name for yourself as Brenden Rice?
It's huge to me. I am who I am, and success is not inherited; it's earned. So people are gonna look at my last name and be like, "Oh, well, he got a last name. He got this far. This is why." But like once that draft hits, man, and these teams are going ahead and putting and investing money into you, they expect a return. So this is not about no last name anymore. This is about a legacy being built on the first half of my name, which is Brenden. And so I just want to go ahead and leave a mark on my community, and I want everybody to notice and know that he was a exceptional worker. I don't even want to say hard worker, exceptional. And he was a good person. He was always on time, and he really cared for others. And if I can go ahead and leave that mark on my community, my teammates, and the organization, I feel as though I'll do just whatever I want with the game.
Oh, that's so fantastic to hear, Brandon. I'll leave you with this last question. You've been so gracious with your time and your gregariousness. Brandon, besides your dad, who are some guys that you've sort of modeled your game after, or guys that maybe were role models at the wide receiver position growing up and even over your journey at USC? And what do you want the NFL teams to know about you and your game overall?
The person I really model my game after, because I can't be like my dad. I'm a bigger body type. I'm faster, and like he's very smoother because of just his body type and stuff like that. A person that I can be like though for sure is the Calvin Ridley's, the Devontae Adams. Those are the guys that are my height, my body type, and are able to go ahead and use the physicality. My dad just wasn't a physical person, man. He could get off a press though, he could fly past you, all those type of things, all the same things that those guys can do. But now it's just go ahead and take the techniques and impose it on my own game.
Love it. I mean, those are two great ones, and you're going to be a great one as well, we believe. And you've done it right. And man, we really appreciate the time, the process. I know everyone's telling you this, but enjoy this next week and enjoy the 3 days of the draft. And we think you'll go pretty early, but the ups and downs of it, enjoy it because it only comes once. So, but we wish you all the best, and hopefully our cross can pass again. And thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Awesome.
Brandon.
Brenden Rice, future NFL star, former USC Trojan.